Hi, I'm Kris Barney with All Things Possible, and welcome to our Possibilities Summit. We've had a tiny bit of technical difficulty, so we're a couple minutes behind schedule, and we're still trying to get a link in to get my other presenters on here today. But I am thrilled to have you here with me. Again, I'm Kris Barney, and this is the Possibilities Summit. And today we are going to be talking about the 6 simple success strategies to create your thriving life. And I am thrilled to have Sue Macartney and Nancy Ray Allen be my guests on this Possibilities Summit and allow for you to find out these 6 simple success strategies to create your thriving life. Today you're going to be hearing about aligning your thoughts and becoming unstoppable. Choose how you want to feel and make it happen, as well as take action and achieve positive results. Those are the 3 that I will be covering. And then Sue and Nancy Ray will be covering learn the truth about what is holding you back, the power of your first impression. That's very important. And the #1 tip to increasing your confidence immediately. And I want you just to know that we are thrilled to have you as part of our community and part of the All Things Possible community, which is thrilling to have you here with us. The first thing I'd like to do is introduce both my speakers and myself. And so let me tell you a little bit about them. First, Sue Macartney is a renowned image and color consultant. She has assisted over 2,000 clients to create their own unique image through style and color. As an innovator of custom blended cosmetics, she has formulated her own line, distributed worldwide. So I'm thrilled to have her here with us today, as well as Nancy Ray Allen. She is a confidence and assertiveness expert. Her vivacious, cutting-edge talent has inspired thousands. As an international speaker, thought leader, and mentor, she transforms individuals worldwide. And that is awesome. I am thrilled to have both of them with us on this summit today. Let me tell you a little bit about me. My company is All Things Possible, and my business partner is my husband, Bill Barney. I have been married to Bill for almost 31 years. It will be 31 years in a couple weeks, and he is just the love of my life, but he is also an intuitive energy healer. So when you work with Bill and I, you get both the energy healing and the intuitiveness, so you can really start to heal from the inside out, as well as I am a speaker, mentor, and trainer. So you get that accountability, you get that mentoring, you get that one-on-one capability to be able to really assess where you're at, what you want, and how to get there. We love to strengthen and empower others to create the life that they want, to be able to conquer those challenges and live a passionate and fulfilling life. And we are thrilled to have you here with us. I have 4 children, a wonderful daughter-in-law, and the love of my life is my granddaughter. She is 9 months old and is so much fun, my very first granddaughter, and it's amazing to be a grandparent. So that's one of the things I love with my life. I love spending time with my family, and I love being able to change the world, being able to really serve other people and allow for them to see their life in a different way. Let's jump in. I want you just to imagine, what if you were in control of your own destiny? What if you really had control of that and you were able to control what happens? Let me tell you something. You control what choices you make and what things happen in your life. Now, not all of our life is controlled by us. Sometimes things happen that we can't change, but we can change how we feel about them and how our life can be. Imagine what your life would be like if you always felt like you were enough. You were never stressed out. You were never in conflict with anyone, and all of your relationships just worked perfectly. All your children obeyed and did exactly what you wanted them to. If there was no overwhelm and no frustration, and you just achieved every goal you set, and you were able to accomplish anything you set your mind to, how would that be? What would that feel like? The problem is, in our reality of our lives, we have a lot of stress. We have a lot going on, and we live in a very fast-paced world. When we live in that world, we are constantly under stress. We constantly have self-confidence issues. We don't believe in ourselves. We feel challenged. We feel judged. And we start to have negative self-talk and negative behaviors. And what happens is then we live in that overwhelm, that frustration. And once we get to that, we start into those other steps of possibly procrastination and even anger. And we start to feel like it's not worth it and it will never change. So the biggest thing that I want you to think about is, how many of you can relate to this, where we're at? A lot of us can relate to this. I lived in a space of overwhelm, frustration, and depression for a long time in my life. I had to really just choose to step it up and do it different. And I had to find ways that I could. In my life, I've been able to go through some really hard challenges. When people hear my whole story and they hear about my son having cancer twice and a twin brother that committed suicide and 5 deaths in 2 years and a lot of different complications, people are like, oh my gosh, that is so hard. And what I have found is that I got really good at getting past those. So today I want to share with you the 3 areas of focus for you to really change that in your life, to be able to have maximum results and to be on your best game and being able to really move forward and to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Recently, I've worked with 2 different clients that I want to tell you a little bit about. One of them, she has, came to me with really a harsh background and some things that had happened to her. She's been able to heal a lot of her life and create her life to be stress-free and really be able to handle what's going on. Another client recently left a family business, went out on her own, and really took her life to a new level. And it's because she believed in herself and because she started to implement these 3 things I'm going to share with you today and do life different. Choose how she wants it to be and how she can feel. I also have a client that I've been working with that he has, gone out on his own, started his own company, and really changed his relationships with his family and the things that are really important to him. I love to see the changes and the differences, and that can be what you can have in your life. So let's jump in and get started. The 3 areas of focus to achieve maximum results. The number 1 is to control your thoughts. This is not easy, and it's a challenge to always be able to control it. But what I can tell you is, he who controls his own thoughts controls his destiny. Now that's by Ross Arnston. And it's really true. If you want to control your destiny and control exactly what happens, you have to start with controlling your thoughts. Positivity is the key. Consciously choosing what thoughts you allow to stay there is what's going to get you beyond that and to the new level. Our thoughts become our beliefs. And when our beliefs are set in place, we have to have that become the way that it comes from our thoughts. So we have to have our thoughts in alignment for what we want our beliefs to be. And that can sometimes be difficult. Vincent Peale said, change your thoughts and change your world. And it's true. If you don't like where you're at, you need to change your thoughts and decide that the self-talk and everything else has got to be something that you control. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. I want to share a story, and this one is really deep in my heart. Go with me to February of 1999. I had, over the last few years before that, I had just gone through a brain tumor and cancer with my child, a daughter that I had adopted, and her skull wasn't growing, so we had to take her skull off, fix it, and put it back. ATV accident and a bad head injury. So all 3 of those in one 1 year. We did 180 nights in the hospital and had a lot of stuff going on. And as that ended, we built a home. I mean, so many things. I can't even tell you on this call how many things happened, but we had a really rough few years. February of 1999, Sunday night, I'm sitting in the hot tub, and I said to my husband, our home's finished, we're overlooking the valley, and I'm like, oh, it almost feels like things are going too good. The next morning, I got a phone call, and it was about my twin brother. He had committed suicide. Let me tell you about my brother, Kirk. Kirk was phenomenal. He was a master craftsman. He was a perfectionist, but he could accomplish anything. He was brilliant. And he did not control his thoughts. He got to a point in his life where he decided his beliefs started to surround the fact that he thought that everyone would be better off without him. He was 33 years old with 4 children and a wife. And he chose to take his life because his thoughts were not in order. He had a reaction to what was going on in his head. If you don't control your thoughts, you will take action steps that you don't want to. Now, when I say that, what thoughts are you entertaining? What are you thinking about? What do you consciously spend your time with? How does that look? And when I say that, do you have thoughts of like, oh, I'm ugly, or I'm fat, or I'm not good enough, or I'm stupid, or I'm sick and tired, right? I have a couple clients, but I have one client that said, I called in sick and took the day off, and guess what? I was sick and got sick anyway. Our thoughts are so important, and they're such a big piece of this. I lived it for so long. Even as a model, I felt fat and ugly and had a hard time with life. It wasn't until I decided that I got to accept myself, love myself, and stop that negative self-talk and believe in myself that I actually could make a difference. And I have a profound effect different than I used to on how I'm able to help other people because I believe in me. The second thing we're going to talk about is to choose your feelings. Now, you're in charge of how you feel. Every day you get out of bed, you get to choose what you do. You get to choose if you're going to get up, if you're going to go to work, if you're going to clean the house, if you're not. If you're going on vacation, you're at choice. The way we feel is done because of choices. When somebody offends us, it is us that chooses to be offended. And I know that's harsh and hard to understand or believe, and sometimes people are like, whatever, I've heard that before. But it's true. Our feelings become our attitude, and our attitude can be changed at any time. How many of you have ever seen a little 2-year-old that goes, you know, run around doing stuff, and you correct them, and they're all sad, they're crying, and you say, you want some candy? And they're like, bing, done. They're new. They're different. Their attitude is 100% changed. Well, let me tell you about my attitude. After my brother died, fast forward that 12 years. His youngest son was 3 years old when he died. So now he's 15. Well, he's had a rough life. And I get another phone call. And that phone call is, we're done. He's going to the state. We've done everything we can. Now, he had been for 4 years passed around the family. Grandparents had been having him the most, and he was going to be turned over to the state. He had some issues and some difficulties. This was a 15-year-old child ending his second year of high school without 1 full credit and had a police record. This was not something that I wanted to be like, oh, pick me. I think I should have him. I think I should help, right? So I had to look really deep inside my heart and go, oh my gosh, this child has never had a chance. Like ever since this tragic event in his life, things have happened and he's made choices that he shouldn't have, but it's been consequences because of his thoughts and his actions. And I had to look really deep inside my heart and my feelings to decide, you know what? We could help this child. We could take him in and we could help him. It was not easy. Feelings are much like waves. We can't stop them from coming, but we can choose which ones we want to surf. This wave was huge. This was not a small task that we were going to take on here. But I chose to take it on. And not every day was a party. We had a lot of struggles. But let me tell you what there was that came out of that. He was able to finish high school on time. He now works a full-time job, is taking care of himself. He has Asperger's quite severely, but we were able to diagnose him and teach him how to handle that and be a contribution to society rather than at the police station and be a menace to society. He graduated high school with an Eagle Scout as well and had earned that Eagle Scout award. And he has learned how to change his behaviors and how to take action in a different way. A completely different kid than the boy that we took in at 15, just 2 years later. And I'm not saying that for the pat on the back. What I'm saying is I chose different feelings. I chose for it to be different and for me to be able to step up and allow him to be part of our lives, and for me to take a different reference, for me to be able to choose the wave that I wanted to surf, choose the way that I wanted life to be different, and I wanted it to be different for him. I wanted him to have a good life. When you can look deep down within yourself and see how you're feeling and choose the feeling that you want, your life will change. When you're losing weight or working on your health, that's one of the things that I'm working on right now. When I get frustrated and I'm going, oh, I don't like the way I look, I'm blah, 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 right? When I get in that aspect, guaranteed, I don't lose weight, I don't have as much energy, and I'm not happy. When I look at myself and go, I am so proud of myself because I got on that exercise machine and I took action and I'm moving forward and I'm doing something about my health and my wellness, I feel a ton better. And even telling yourself, I have great energy, and believing it, trusting yourself, will give you more energy. It's amazing how when you really focus on how to move your life forward, it's not as difficult as you might think. There are a lot of things that you can do. Let me take you into the third thing that I want to tell you about. The third thing is taking committed action. Now, you've heard that over and over, taking action, that's so important. Spending time today complaining about yesterday won't make tomorrow better. I promise you it won't. It will not make tomorrow better, and it will not help you to move forward in a different way. I want you to think about a stoplight. If you think about the red, we need to stop. We need to stop and really take a good look at how are we with our positive self-talk? How are we with choosing our feelings? How are we with doing the next task? I want you to stop and assess where you're at. The second one is the yellow light, and I want you to think about it. Think about it, assess it, and decide, like what does that look like? What's going on? Is it working? Is it not working? And how can it be different? And then go to the green light, which is go. Choose how you want to go full force, and actually make a difference. Go in and move forward and get that going for you. Taking action, even when you're afraid, is how you become courageous. If you want courage to do things differently, you've got to take action and do them. I was recently at a meeting, at a networking meeting, and they said, okay, so how many of you feel comfortable up in front of the room and up speaking? I was the only one. I raised my hand really high and said, me, I like to speak. I like to be up in front. Guess what? I did not like that 2 years ago. I did it, and I was up there, but boy, I got really stressed out about it, and I really had a hard time. I had to decide that I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I had to decide that I had value and I could share it. And the best way for me to share it was from the stage. For the best way for me to share the stories and the difficulties that we've gone through was for me to be up in front and for me to be able to share that with people. Now, public speaking can be one of the most scariest feelings for almost all people, but it's what you choose. I had to choose for that to be different. And that is the only way that that worked for me. Now, a year ago, went to a Tony Robbins event. And I love Tony Robbins and all of his great stuff that he has out there. But one of the things that I got to do at Tony Robbins was a fire walk. When I was there, I had just recently gone through 2 foot surgeries and had been down for like 8 to 10 weeks. And when I went down to this event in Florida, I had hardware actually in my toes and coming out the end of my toe. And according to the rules of this fire walk, I was not to be doing it. It was taboo. Not going to be on it, not happening. And I really stressed about that at first because I wanted to do the fire walk. And it was like, no, there's this, you know, this form that you have to fill out and you can't because you don't qualify and blah, blah, blah. And it finally came down to a few minutes before the event. And they had this hype building all day long and all night. And we were going to do this walk at midnight. And I was down there with some friends. And I just said, I want to do this. I really want to do this. And I will take full responsibility for this. Well, I did it. I did the fire walk because I took action. I chose. My first step onto those hot coals, a coal lodged right onto that hardware sticking out of my toe. The only place I was burned was on the end of that toe that had that wire that connected to the coal until I got through the fire walk and got it off. What I can tell you is I could have sat back and said, oh, I'm not going to do it. It's no big deal. And I came all this way and did this event, but I didn't do the fire walk. Forever, I would have not been happy about that. So what is it that you're not taking action on? What is scary to you? What's holding you back? Tony Robbins says the path to success is to take massive, determined action. And I agree. Massive, determined action will change anything in your life. And especially if you take the right actions, because we can take the wrong actions and create our life to be very miserable. Another thing that Tony Robbins has said is the secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use you. If you do that, you're in control of your life. If you don't, your life controls you. I really love that because it does really control you. If you are not careful, life can control you, just like my twin brother. Life controlled him. He finally decided that he couldn't take anymore and that he was better off, and he's not. That was a long time ago, but it still affects my life every day, and it affects the lives of his children every single day and his wife. It's never been the same. My parents, you know, as parents losing a child, it's never the right choice for anyone. So what I would like for you to look at is what are you looking at? What action steps do you need to take? What thoughts are you having? What feelings are you having? And what actions do you need to take? Action always beats intention. You can set intention all day long and never take action. I have a lot of intentions out there. I am writing a book. I've had a lot of intentions of having that book done quicker. But when I don't take action, I don't make it. And I don't get there. Action is that big step that you need, and it's a foundational key to all your success. And we have to take that action. We have to learn to celebrate. We have to celebrate our successes. After we take action, when we celebrate our successes, that keeps us in that accomplishment energy, and we have more success. So remember to stay in that accomplishment mentality and celebrate those successes. Constantly celebrate them. I want to just kind of remind you of that, you know, that problem that we talked about in the beginning of this hangout, and lives, that stress that we always feel, and that constantly feeling like we're not enough and that we don't have the confidence that we need. And those negative feelings, that negative self-talk that we have, we get into that overwhelm and that frustration. And we really do start to procrastinate and not accomplish what we really want. Are you not getting the results you want? And if that's where you're at, something has got to change. And one of the things that I teach all the time is that you have to make a decision. You cannot move forward without making the decision that you want to move forward, and that's where you're at. What I want to offer you today for being on this call with us, this webinar, and this being part of the Possibilities Summit, is I want to offer you a free strategy session with myself. That's a 30-minute phone call. We do it over, and we get deep into your biggest challenge right now in your life and how we can together come up with some really good steps for you to take action and go to that next step. So just for being here on the call with us and being part of the Possibilities Summit, you get to have a free strategy session. You will be sent an email and you will have the opportunity to get that strategy session from me and be able to be part of this. I also apologize for the April Fool's Day, apparently technology difficulties that we had today, and you will be getting both my part of this webinar as well as Nancy Ray and Sue Macartney's part of this webinar. Thank you so much for being part of this community. We are thrilled to have you here. You want to have that personal development, take action, and do life differently. So thank you for being here. We are thrilled to have you part of this and want to just let you know that we are here to serve. All three of us are about changing the world and making a difference, and that you can take the action that's needed. Do those 3 steps. Take control of your thoughts, choose your feelings, and take committed action, and you will see a difference in your world. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time on the next Possibility Summit. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. It's Nancy Ray Allen here and
Sue Macartney.
So what Sue and I are going to be covering today at this Possibilities Summit is we're going to be talking about the #1 thing that's really holding you back in your life. We'll also be going into the power of a first impression, and then we'll be giving you some awesome tips. Each one of us have a tip that we're going to share about how to really make a very strong first impression and come across confident. So let's jump in. So briefly, we're going to introduce ourselves. I know Kris mentioned on the other video that blew up in our faces a little bit about us. So I'm going to tell you my story in brief, and then Sue will share her story. So I actually began my journey to being a motivational speaker when I was 12 years old. That's when I received my first personal development book, and I fell absolutely in love. And I was just captivated by all the concepts that it taught. You know, you can own your life and you can create your life, and the power of positive thinking, all of those things. And I just felt so strongly that if everybody knew this stuff, the whole world would be different. So I decided at that young age that I was going to change the world. And I set out on a mission. I went to all sorts of trainings and seminars. I became a certified life coach when I was 16 and actually started coaching my mom's friends. Now, you'd think I'd be feeling pretty confident about who I was and what I was doing because of the response I was getting. People twice my age were coming and paying me $100 an hour to coach them. And I didn't think it was a big deal at the time, and now I know it's a very, very big deal. So I was kind of confident, and then an authority figure in my life questioned me. And he kind of questioned me in a way that made me really doubt myself, kind of the who do you think you are to be doing this and to be doing big things at this young age. And so I pulled it all back in, and I became very self-conscious. And when I finally launched the business that I have now and started collaborating with Sue, which we'll tell you a little bit about in a minute, I realized that it's actually a lack of confidence, not fear. That's the #1 thing holding us back. So did you hear that? Lack of confidence, not fear, is the #1 thing really holding you back in your life. So I became incredibly passionate about this idea of confidence and feeling confident and appearing confident. And so that's what I based and founded my entire business on, is helping other people feel confident so they can truly pursue their dreams. Sue?
Well, my story goes back a little further than Nancy Ray's. When my daughter was in grammar school, their Brownie troupe invited a woman to come talk on how they could start wearing makeup and how start feeling better about themselves. So I met this woman, and I trained with her for a year to help her start her business in Southern California. And because she didn't know as many people as I did, because as some of you know, I tend to know everybody because I'm out there. So I helped her start her business. In that transition, she trained me on how to do color analysis, how to make women feel better about themselves. So over 30 years ago, I founded a company called Your Color Image Center. It made my life so much easier once I found out this information to communicate with my then 12-year-old daughter. And from then, we've really blossomed into 3-day spas that I had in Southern California. But my passion is really helping people feel better about themselves. So when they look in the mirror, they go, yes, I am really all that. I'm looking the best I can for what God has given me. And that's been my passion for the last 30 some odd years. And from there, I developed my own line of cosmetics. But the true passion is how people feel about themselves.
So super exciting, as you can see. So the collaboration that Sue and I have created is an opportunity that we call rhodium transformation. So rhodium, do you want to tell them what that is?
Rhodium is like a very precious metal that jewelers will use to coat other pieces of jewelry so that they don't tarnish, they stay shiny, they don't need any high maintenance. You know, they always look fabulous, no matter what kind of metal you're coating. This rhodium is being put on. So what Nancy and I want to do is take what's already good and whole, like you, and make it shine, make you shine, so that you can be the best that you can be.
And so if you're starting to think that this is all about image and how you look and appearance, think again. So this is about a full transformation, inside out, outside in. So as I'm sure you know, if you dress better, you feel better about yourself. You're more confident. And if you are feeling more confident, you also look a lot better. So they play hand in hand. So we're really excited about this collaboration. We're truly inspired to help women feel and appear more powerful and more confident so that they can pursue their dreams uninhibited, completely uninhibited.
And confident.
Yeah, so let's dive in. So let's talk a little bit about the power of the first impression. So I'm going to set up a screen share really quick because we want to use an imagery to show you how this works. Okay, so it should be coming up for you here. And I'm just going to, let's see if I can make it full screen for us. All right. Great. So as you can see here, we're struggling just a second. Here we go with another struggle. So go ahead.
April Fool.
April Fool. So go ahead and look at this image here.
Yeah, look at it real quickly. What's the first word that comes into your mind when you think about this image? The color, the body language of the people, how they're feeling, looking. What's the first word that comes into your mind? Think about that for a minute. There you go.
Not very pretty.
No.
Kind of depressing. So it's kind of probably very obvious. You know, it's dark gray, it's black, the people are bawling, right? How it would make us feel.
They're not wearing good mascara, running all down their cheeks.
And this next image, take a look at this next image and how it makes you feel.
Well, instantly, you've got to see those bright colors and the people jumping in the air for joy. Smiley kitten, it automatically is going to make you feel uplifted, more positive.
And so people sometimes are like, oh, well, duh. One is a picture of gray and black, and one is a picture of happy, smiling faces. The whole point of this little imagery here is just to really illustrate to you how much visually we are impacted. When we see certain things, we feel a certain way, and our environment and the way people appear has a huge impact on how we feel about them. So first impressions are huge. And in my business, when I work with people, I work in the area of confidence and assisting them to feel more confident by the way they think about themselves and also the way they present themselves in their body language and their scripting. So the power of the first impression is massive. Within the first 4 seconds of meeting you, people make a judgment. Now, this is a subconscious judgment. It's not like they're consciously looking at you, wanting to judge you and wanting to make you feel bad about who you are. Subconsciously, our brain is just set up and programmed to make comparisons and judgments. It's part of what it does. I'll have people argue with me all the time. Oh, that's so vain. I just want people to like me for who I am. I don't judge other people. That is a hunk of baloney. Just not true. We do. We judge a book by its cover all the time. It's how we're programmed. It's just how it works. So in the first 4 seconds of meeting you, people will decide, I will or will not buy from this person. Okay, even if you don't sell anything. Even if you don't sell anything. So your appearance, yourself as a person, that's a product. And they decide, I do like this, I want to buy it, I want some of it, or I don't. Second, I will or will not like this person. They've decided by how you appear if they're going to like you or not. Third, I find this person kind or not. Just by how you look, how you stand, how you are showing up. And fourth, I find this person intelligent or not. Isn't that shocking? It's absolutely shocking. So a story that I like to share with people when I'm really illustrating this concept is a story that I heard about a gentleman who was in IT. So as you can imagine, people who work on computers all day sometimes aren't the most savvy with the way that they dress and the way that they talk, and their social graces sometimes aren't the best. I am absolutely stereotyping right now. So this gentleman was that way, and he didn't dress very well. He dressed very frumpy. You know, when he would be going in to meet with potential clients, he was wearing jeans or sweats and just nothing matched. And I mean, I'm sure it would, like, if Sue saw the way he dressed, it would make her cringe because she is just so about how things go together and how things look. But I don't judge, right? So this gentleman worked in IT, and he was brilliant, and he was very well respected and well known for his skill set and what he did. And he would get gigs all the time because the IT departments knew of his accolades, right? All the accomplishments he had, and they'd call him up, they'd hire him, he'd come in, so he'd get gigs really easily. Okay, he was kind of a consultant for IT departments. And then the owners or the CEOs of the companies would meet him, and they'd fire him. They'd fire him. So he'd get the gig, and then he'd lose the gig, and then he'd get the gig, and then he'd lose the gig, and he had horrible client retention. And so he was like, what's going on? What's going on? So he went to a coach. Smart man, went to a coach, because coaches have this objective, you know, bird's eye view, right, on what's going on for you. And so he went to a coach, and she said, you need to hire an image consultant. You need to hire an image consultant, right? You look horrible. So he went to an image consultant. He had her take him shopping, which Sue does this. She'll take him shopping, help him match clothes, buy the right kind of fabrics, buy clothes that look expensive and nice, and dress. And another really cool thing that he did, he added one important key to his outfit, was a watch. He added a watch. And this is interesting. There's actually research out there that shows that people who wear watches are viewed as more intelligent. Kind of crazy. So he did that. He shifted all those things, and the way people treated him, it was like night and day. He started getting the gigs and keeping the gigs, which, as you can imagine, really helps your bottom line, right? When you can keep those clients. So Sue, you had a story you wanted to share.
Oh, we were working with a corporate executive of a company, CEO, who shared her story that the reason she wanted us to work with her company was because she had a young man come in, and part of their job description is that she requires that they wear a tie. And he was a young kid, and he goes, oh, I don't know if I have to wear a tie, I'm just not my thing. And he'd come to work with wrinkled shirts and his tie kind of askew, and she said, you're really going to have to step it up. And he didn't see the value of that until he started like going just to pick up prescription at the store. And like people treated him like he was really somebody, like, ooh, you must be important. Look at you. Wow, you've got the tie and the, you know, you must have a really important job. And even to when you go shopping to buy decent shirts and a tie, people would just treat him differently when he was dressed that way. So he saw the value of that appearance, which in turn made him more confident, which made his competency in his job even better. And he was hired because he was so smart and competent, but now it really shone through. So it can make a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference. So I want you to think right now and just consider and try on for a moment the possibility that part of the reason you're not getting the results you really want in your business and in your life is because the way you show up people treat you a certain way based on that image you're bringing. And by that, we don't just mean your makeup and your hair. We also mean the way you're presenting yourself, how you stand, how you talk, how you interact, if you smile or not, all of those things. It's incredible when we change what's going on inside us and we adjust how we're, what's the word, frosting ourselves, how much differently people show up and interact with us and treat us. They take us more seriously. They see us as more competent, and you know, they're willing to trust our advice in a different way. So really quickly, I'm going to share my screen with you again. This is super fun, right? To show you guys another example of the power of image. So right here, Sue, do you want to walk us through this gal right here?
Oh, sure. This gal came to have an image workshop done with me, with my programs. And she's just, as you can tell, she's just delightful and happy and great energy about her. But she was wearing the wrong color when she came in. When you wear a color that's right for you, it actually will smooth out your skin and make your whole energy uplifted. So she's beautiful. Beautiful here, just the way she was. But let's show you what happened when I put the right color around her so she could see how wearing the right color really makes a difference. She looks younger. Just by wearing the right color around her, it naturally made her skin tone look less splotchy.
Yeah, so let's compare again. Yeah, look.
Now, and of course, you know, I did put some makeup on her, but the makeup is designed to naturally cover up those red spots. I added some green pigment to her formula, but to counteract the red. But still, look even underneath her eyes. Even her hair looks shinier, which I did nothing to her hair, but even her hair looks better in this color because we have that flow, that continuity of color, and that's what, when you have your colors done, can do for you. It's just a guideline. It's just a starting point to give you confidence in all of your color choices, whether it's to color your hair, buy glasses, buy jewelry, clothing, makeup. You don't want to be driving a car that's the wrong color, right? So it makes that color choice easier once you know how to use your colors.
Absolutely. Great. Awesome. So as you can see, the first impression, it's everything and it's huge. But if you just change the outside and you don't change the inside, nothing's going to stick. The behaviors aren't going to stick. You're not going to stick with it. So I want to share another success story I have with you about a client of mine. So I have a client who, for his job, he sells memberships, and he usually sells on average between 2 and 3 a month. And he really would like to be hitting about 10 a month. So feeling like he's definitely underperforming and not meeting those goals. So I began working with him, and after a 2-hour power session with me where we were really getting in there on the inside, what's going on with his confidence on the inside where he's not able to like make the sell or ask the question or pick up the phone, right? He sold 10 memberships in 24 hours.
Love that story.
It's incredible. It's incredible what we're capable of when we get this shifted around. So it's very exciting. So now we're going to move on and we're going to share with you our top tips for immediately increasing your confidence, the way you appear to people, okay, and the way you feel, right?
Yes.
Because when we change the way we look, we also feel different. So Sue, why don't you start us off?
Well, for women, I think the #1 tip, be proud that you're a woman and be confident that you're a woman and use the tools that are available to us as women. And that #1 thing that makes a difference in how you visually look is going to be lipstick. I know you're all sitting there going, I hate to wear lipstick. I feel like everybody's just going to be looking at my lips. That's all they see. And that's not true. When you choose to wear lipstick, it just says, I'm kind of honoring myself as a woman, that I know I can do this. It really can brighten up your eyes, can make you look more alive. And of course, wearing the right color lipstick will work, you know, much better for you than you just put a whole bunch of dark lipstick on.
Stuff on.
But there is an instant uplift to you that you feel better with that. And for men, the one confidence thing for men is to wear a jacket. Don't wear just a golf shirt or a regular shirt. Take the time to put a jacket over it, not like a Nike jacket or something, but like a nice sports jacket or something that is a little bit tailored. When you wear a jacket or have that jacketed look, it just says, I am confident, I know what I'm doing, and you can trust me.
So I was going to ask you about that. So you know how you'll see men wear dress shirts and then they'll wear a sweater vest? Is that adding a jacketed element to it or not?
If it's long sleeve, it's okay. But the short sleeve look with men with a vest is just too casual, depending on what the circumstances is.
Right, yeah.
On where they're presenting. And, we're always presenting, whether at the grocery store or, in a meeting, we're always presenting ourselves. But and I have a whole workshop on.
You can see she's talking quickly because she's so excited because she has so much she could share, like so much.
I do have a whole list for men.
A whole list for men. So I just wanted to talk for a second about the lipstick thing. And I know like some women hate makeup, hate these different things, and that's okay. I just want to tell you, when I started wearing lipstick, how things changed for me. I always was just a gloss girl. I'm just going to put on some clear gloss. I'm not going to put on any color. When I started wearing lipstick, people treated me like I was more mature, like I was older, like I was more intelligent. Like, it was so bizarre. Men started holding the door open for me more. I mean, just weird things like that. And when you think about lipstick, it's a very signature thing about being a woman, right? You'll see the lipstick imprint that they'll have on things and different things like that. So just consider it. Just consider, start maybe being open to the possibility of wearing lipstick. And for me, a big thing was I never wore it, honestly, until I met with Sue. And she sold me my first real lipstick, and it was my color. So like right now, it doesn't look like, oh my gosh, she's wearing lipstick. It flows with my colors. You see that? Right? And same with Sue. Like, Sue's wearing a very dark color, but because it's her color, it flows and it doesn't look like, wow, look, she's wearing lipstick. And sometimes if you haven't been educated about how to wear it and what color to wear, you'll go to the store, buy a few colors, you put them on, you're like, oh my gosh, it's just so obnoxious.
I look like a clown.
I look like a clown. So education is so key, so key in all this. All right. My number one tip for increasing your confidence and how you appear, okay, to other people is posture. This is huge. And people, I've worked with Sue on her posture. Okay. So Sue, why don't you tell them briefly, just, your story about your posture and really.
Well, my posture has not always been good. One of the reasons is growing up, my mother always said, hide those things.
Hide those things, right? As girls, we don't want to be like sticking our chest out.
So I kind of naturally had this little curve. But over the years, I've just got, like this.
The habit of slouching and maybe hiding a little?
Maybe, yeah. And it was, so when I met Nancy Ray, she said, oh, come on, we've got to really work on your posture. You got to stand up. And I thought, boy, and it hurts because, after so many years, all these years.
Well, the muscles, right, as you can imagine, are this way, right?
So I joined a gym and got a personal trainer who is working specifically on my posture. And I'm working with a massage therapist who I was so tense, and she got that blood rushing and said, you can't really have proper posture until you relax some of these muscles and allow it to happen. So I learned exercises every day, just pushing your hand against the wall and trying to get those two bones back there to meet instead of being so far apart. So I've really been working on it, thanks to Nancy Ray, and I do see a difference, and I think other people have noticed it too. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, certainly. So that's the thing. Depending on how old you are, you have habits of standing a certain way or sitting a certain way or talking a certain way. I had a client once that she talked like this. She kept her mouth barely moved, and her teeth barely separated when she talked. And this is just how she talked. And she talked that way for 40 years of her life. So you can imagine when I started doing exercises with her actually having her use her mouth, she was just talking normal like I am, but she felt like she was talking like this. Because it was so different. Because
I feel like this.
Yeah, because it was so different for her. So you have to understand that when you're making these adjustments in your posture and you're actually putting your shoulders back where a good posture would be, you might feel like you're sticking your chest out, or you might feel a little weird, or like she said, it was painful for her. So get on top of your posture. Number one thing is going to be your shoulders. Getting your shoulders back. When you move your shoulders back, the rest of you kind of moves into alignment. It lifts up your chin. It's really hard to do this and pull your shoulders back. So get your shoulders in a good position. It will amaze you. It will amaze you how differently people will treat you when you get those.
And how your clothes fit.
And how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a biochemical trigger. When we pull our shoulders back, we actually release testosterone. Okay. Testosterone's the confidence chemical in our body, right? That go get it, make it happen. The driver hormone that we have in our body. So pulling those shoulders back Huge. Huge. So those are our top tips for increasing your confidence. So the truth is we really don't know what we don't know. Like we've said, we were never educated. I don't remember in high school taking a class that said, here's how to use your body when you're communicating with people, right? And body language is 55% of our communication. It's more than half of it, but we just don't know. And I was never taught the colors to wear.
Yeah.
I mean, how to wear lipstick.
And usually our mothers didn't sit us down and say, okay, now that you're a young lady, let me show you the right way to wear the makeup that's not going to look like, you know, Gucci Mama, and that you're going to still look natural and good. Our mothers didn't really do that either because they were just busy, you know, raising kids,
or they didn't know, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't know.
So
let's recap it then. Let's recap everything we've covered. So first, the number one thing holding you back right now is a lack of confidence, not fear. When we're truly confident and we have this belief in ourselves and we just feel good and we feel dynamic, fear is there, but it's like this annoying little voice in the background, in the corner that we say, sit down and shut up, because we feel good about who we are. Yeah. Next up, power of first impression. We spent the whole middle portion of this training sharing stories and illustrations of, you know, first impression. It's huge. It's huge. And then third, our tips for increasing your confidence. Sue, what were your two?
Wear lipstick, ladies, and wear a jacket, gentlemen.
Huge. And mine, get that posture, get those shoulders back and sit up. So really quickly to wrap this up, I'm going to share my screen with you guys again. We have some exciting things happening with our Rhodium transformation. And we're extending an invitation to you. So you're invited. We're going to be doing another training. We only had 30 minutes here with you today, but we're going to be doing a 45-minute training. So you've already got this base information. You know who we are. We're going to be doing a 45-minute training covering the top 5 confidence and appearance mistakes that women make. So men, this would not be somewhere for you to be. But if you have a spouse, a wife, a mom, a sister, send them this information. Or you can even join the call because we're going to be talking at the end about our upcoming workshop for women. And Mother's Day is just around the corner. So this would be a great opportunity for you to love on the women in your life. Send them this amazing resource, this opportunity to get some free training about these mistakes and the solutions that women make. So if you're wanting to take advantage of this upcoming training, just text right now. Pull out your phone. Text this number, 208-502-0237. We're going to need to know your name, first and last, and your email. And then we'll email and text out details to when this call is going to be happening, this training is going to be happening, so that you can be there. So I'll leave this on the screen for just a moment. To wrap up, did you have anything you wanted to leave them with, Sue?
Well, that we sure hope that we get to work with you again soon or see you on our next call. We've got some exciting events coming up this year, too, we planned. So we'll be telling you more about that.
So make sure you text that number and, you know, share this video with those that you know that need this information, that need this content. There is an epidemic going on right now on the planet of women not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, and not knowing how to truly step into owning their unique beauty that they were gifted with and blessed with. So that's what I love about what Sue and I do. It's not about changing you and making you different. It's Rhodium. It's about enhancing what you already have and making it shine. So thank you so much. We've had a good time. I hope you've had a good time with us.
We'll see you next time on the next Possibility Summit. Bye-bye.